So we're at a point right now where we have got an accepted offer on the land we wanted to build on south of Indianola. We put down $1,500 in earnest money. We have pre-approval for a construction loan, but it turns out it's a lot more complicated than just getting the land and picking a builder. So in order for this construction loan to close, I have to not only have the land, but I have to have the builder picked out and basically the entire spec and plan for the home finalized before the loan can close. So I've got $1,500 out in earnest money on this property that if for some reason the loan doesn't close, I won't get that money back. I have 4 very excited little kids who are fairly certain we're building a house at this point. And as I sit here right now, I'm not even certain we're going to be able to close the loan. It's a terrifying position to be in. I have basically all of our life savings that we have available in cash kind of out on the line right now in order to build this home. And there is so much detail involved in and even beginning to think about closing this construction loan. So, for example, this is a rural property, so there's no sewer available, correct? So I'm trying to price out or get an idea even of what a septic might cost. We ended up having to pay more for the land than what I was hoping. We ended up paying more per acre than what any other property in the area is being sold for. And I started trying to price out septic systems, okay, because I'm going to end up paying for the septic system out of our savings instead of out of the mortgage. And the land agent said that he was fairly certain that the perk test, so they have to kind of test how quickly fluids and things will drain through the soil, that the land will pass a perk test and allow us to use what's called a leach line septic system, which is less expensive. When I called one of the local installers in the Indianola area to ask about what we do now to get a perk test done and how we determine what kind of septic system will be used, that installer said, I'm fairly certain you're going to end up with a sand system. And a sand system is going to run you for a 4-bedroom house about $16,000, which is about $9,000 more than I was planning to spend on the septic. So just as I'm trying to add these details together, I'm getting this terrifying feeling in the pit of my stomach that I'm going to pay out all this money, not going to be able to close the loan. And if I do close the loan and get the house built, we'll come to the end of the building process. They'll go through to appraise the house, and it's not going to appraise for what has been spent to build it. And if that's the case, and if something else happens and I don't qualify any longer for that mortgage by the time we're closing on this house, I'm just out all of the money I spent to try to build the home. So this is all terrifying to me. Right now I am sitting in the parking lot. I'm getting ready to go meet with Bloom Construction Group. That is who I ended up choosing to build our home. After meeting with several home builders, a couple of them, once they actually realized what our budget would be, basically blew us off and said, in essence, we don't have any plans available that are going to be cheap enough for you. So sayonara, good luck. And then a couple of the builders that I met with, I just inherently don't trust. I can't put my finger on it. I don't know why, but in meeting with them and starting to ask them more detailed questions, answers I was getting to the questions were kind of like, well, if you choose this surface, it might be an add-on. It might be an upgrade. The service may or may not be an upgrade. Yes, those baseboards. Oh, wait, no, those are an upgrade. And any time they talk about upgrading any kind of surface or finish, that's going to add cost to the build. And what I don't know and don't have a good handle on is whether or not these upgrades are going to add value to the house. So if I use, for example, that LVP type flooring, which is basically vinyl, but kind of an upgraded vinyl, if I use that for a flooring in a room, is that going to increase the value of the appraisal? Or because it's vinyl, is that going to decrease the overall value of the appraisal. I was supposed to be teaching ACLS class today, and the class size with ACLS is this advanced cardiac life support system that allows us and gives us the licensing and the power to save people's lives when they come into the ER or in the ICU. It gives you a protocol that you can follow, and I teach that class. The class size was so small that the lead instructor dismissed me for the day, said I could help with the airway management or the basic life support, so compressions, help with that part of the class, and then go. And I've taken that opportunity to spend the rest of my day trying to put together a finalized kind of house plan and talk to the builder that I've chosen. So I've chosen this Bloom Group Construction. We're supposed to be meeting at 1:30, which is in about 6 minutes. And I have spent the morning working on kind of drafting out what I would like to see the house roughly look like. I don't know how realistic any of this is. I am going to show you kind of roughly what I want to see. So we're looking at a covered front porch, a 4-bedroom home, kind of farm style house with a side load garage. I don't want the front of the house to be too busy. And I want it to kind of in some ways, reference the elements of the prairie style popularized by Frank Lloyd Wright. Since this is a home that's going to be built on 10 acres, kind of out in a prairie area, I'm hoping to integrate the architecture of the home into the surrounding countryside and make it kind of feel like the house belongs there. I might be getting too far ahead of myself, and maybe that's too much and too fancy, but that's what we're kind of hoping for. I sort of sketched it out based on some other plans with some adjustments. And then here on the back, I kind of went system by system through the things in the home with some ideas and questions I had about the finishes and the types of materials to use. So I'm getting ready to go into my meeting now, and this is going to be the first, I think, big decision meeting. Wish me luck. I hope for the sake of my family that I'm able to get this done. We've been waiting for this for a long time. I've been working a lot of hours trying to make this happen. We are, at the end of this, probably going to be house poor, but I hope it's worth it. Wish me luck.